Hello, lads and lasses. Hey, if you like today's lesson, then apply for many different jobs. And during the interviews, only talk about how much you love art, as this would really help to spread the good word about my class. Okay, guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to draw the still life. So in the last video, I taught you how to draw a half-inch border. So you should have your paper that has a half-inch border on it. And before we get, and you should have built a still life. So this is the still life that is in the classroom. So I'm going to show you an example of what it looks like. I've got lots of different objects in it. And when we look at this photograph, we're going to pretend that we're actually looking at the still life. And I'm just going to switch the camera around right there. Oh, it's upside down. All right, let's try this. Yeah, making you seasick. All right, that's what it looks like in my classroom right now. All right, so I put it as a photograph so that when I'm talking about it, we'll just pretend that we're looking at the still life. All right, now to get started, we need to make a viewfinder. I use these things. These are little plastic slide holders, but you probably don't have one of these, so you're going to have to make one for yourself. So you'll need a piece of paper and a pair of scissors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my paper in half. And it really kind of doesn't matter if it's hamburger or hot dog. And I'm going to cut in the middle. And I'll cut here. And then I'll cut like this. So that when I open it up, just focus. All right. So that when I open it up, I have this little rectangle of a piece of paper. I'll refold it, and I'm going to cut out a part in the middle so that when I unfold it, I have a rectangle. All right, here is how you use a viewfinder. So let's pretend that we are looking at this in the classroom. And if we look through the viewfinder, it helps us to focus on a small part. So you are going to close one eye, look at your still life, and put the viewfinder in front of you. The closer it is to your eye, the more you can see of the still life. The farther away it is from your eye, the less you can see of your still life. So you can turn it vertical. You can look at a special part of the picture that's vertical. You move it around. Oh, I like that part. Oh, I don't want to draw that. I want to draw that. Or you can turn it sideways and it will, you can focus on a part. If you pull it back towards your face, you see more. You push it away, you see less. All right, that's how you do this. Now, I choose to focus on this little part right here. So there was a phone, there's part of a chandelier, there's some leaves, and there's a lantern. So let's just pretend I focused on, because there's the phone that I was looking at. So let's just pretend that I'm focusing on just this part right here. That's what I zoomed in on. All right, so we're going to pretend that I am looking at this. In fact, I'm looking at this through my viewfinder like that. That's what we're going to pretend. Now, how do I draw that on my piece of paper? So I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm going to draw it very lightly at first. So there's a couple things of how I can make this up here on my paper. First of all, I'm going to notice that at the bottom of this phone is close to the bottom of my picture, and it's kind of in the middle. I don't know if you can hear the brewing coffee behind me, so that's what that noise is. I'm brewing some coffee. It might be able to hear it in the video. All right. So there's a little bit of space right here. So right towards the middle is I'm going to make a little bit of space, and that's where the bottom of my phone is going to be. Right here. Do you see that little mark I made? And I'm drawing it light. Then I look at over here, the right side of the phone is close to the right side of the picture. So the right side of the phone would be about right over here, and it's kind of in the middle. There's about as much distance from the phone to the bottom as there is from the phone to the top. So that's where the phone is. And then over on the left side, there's a skate. There's a part of like a half circle over here. So I'm going to draw a half circle right there. There's my half circle. And apart from that, there is a line that comes up like this. And then I see a line that's like this. And that's where then there's a little bit of space between the chandelier and the phone. So that's where I know where my phone is going to end. So my phone is going to be like right here. I don't know if you can see these lines. There's a little line. That's where my phone is going to be. And then my phone goes in this direction. And I see a little line right there. And then there's the receiver right there. And I've just kind of outlined the phone. Behind it, coming out right here, is the lantern. So there's a lantern that comes out here, and it goes in like that. And then there's the glass part of the lantern that touches a little bit of the phone right here, and it goes like this. And then I see a part of the lantern comes out like this, and another part of the lantern comes out like this. And this lantern almost intersects with this. And if I were to draw this as a shape, it would be a rectangle. So there's a little bit of a rectangle right here. All right, and then there's a like an eye shape right here. So I'll make an eye shape, and that's the shape of the light right here. This shape right here. And I will continue doing this all around. So I start to, kind of rough out where everything goes. And, there's some leaves right here. And there's some leaves and and I'll just kind of lightly sketch in where things are going. There's leaves up here, and right where this part of that light bulb, there's another part of the chandelier. It comes out this way and makes like this rectangle, and that gets connected to the lantern. All right, once I have everything kind of sketched out, I'll go back in and draw the details. So that's where we kind of come back to having a contour drawing. So I'll make my lines nice and crisp and clean. So there's like a little bit of a curve right there. I'll draw the little bit of the curve, and then I'm drawing this line right here. And then right as it touches here, there's a little bit of like a curve this way. And this goes up, and then like that makes that curve right here. And then there's this cylinder. There's this weird thing on the end of this phone. And it makes a shape like that. And then there's this line. So I'll draw that line. And I can go in and out and erase these other like sketchy lines. And then I'm going to draw this and draw a nice even straight line, a nice even straight line. and a nice even straight line, and it kind of curves up this way. Jesse, you shut the door. So just let them know that I'm filming. All right, now there is we know that it's a circle, but in this photo, it's an ellipse. It's not like, if we were like looking above it, it would be a circle. But I'm going to draw it as an ellipse. So it's kind of like an oval. And I can see that it comes out from here. So it comes out from here and goes up here. I'm just going to sketch it right like that. And it has two more. There's this big one, there's a smaller one, and then a smaller one. And they are all closer to the left side than they are the right side. So this one, there's a little bit of space. I'll make another ellipse. And then the smaller one, it touches the second ellipse. The third ellipse touches the second ellipse. And then I can do my detail. And then I can go and erase all the sketchy lines that I made. I wanted this to look nice and crisp and clean. And I'll bring this out a little bit more this way. All right, and then there's like a rectangle right here. And then it makes this line that comes out like this, and then it makes a hook like this. Do you see that? And it goes like this. And then there's these ellipses all along here. And then there's some writing, but I'm not going to actually write it. I'm just going to like fake it right here. Then there's a line that goes up and across, and so you see what I'm doing. And then there's this line. I'm getting carried away because I enjoy drawing. And this makes a line like this. There's a little line like this right here. And then there's this line that comes across like that. And this goes straight. This makes a little hook like that. And that comes down close to the phone. There's a shadow under here. And then there's the part of the phone that connects right here. And then there's the back of this right here. All right. And I'm kind of showing you the progress, or, how you turn a blank piece of paper into a sketch, how you begin to draw your contour lines. And what I'm going to show you right now is a couple of finished drawings from my students. And these were Art 1 students. And this is what I want the final product to look like. So it's a line drawing. We're doing contour lines. And here's one example of what I want the finished product to look like. And here's another example of what I want the finished product to look like. Okay, I think that's all the instruction that you need. This should take about 2.5 hours to do. So I wasn't going to do the full 2.5 hour drawing on this because that would be a very long video. But I showed you how to get started, how to sketch, and how to turn your sketch into a contour drawing. And then I showed you some examples of what to expect. Oh, and I wanted to fill up the whole space. And I put some instructions on how to do that in the assignment. But make sure that you fill up the entire space. What I don't want to see is, if this is your piece of paper, and this is your border, I don't want to see a tiny little drawing in the middle and all this empty space. I want you to draw big so that it fills up the entire space. All right. If you have any questions, you can email me. And I think that's all that I have for you right now. Follow the instructions and go ahead and get started. That's it for now. And until next time, be a little art factory.